This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
In about an hour, Missouri set to execute its first inmate of the year. Convicted murderer Brian Dorsey has been denied clemency 3 times in the last few days, and today, the country's highest court rejected his final request. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Brian Dorsey has been in prison for the last 17 years after being convicted of a double murder in mid-Missouri. Annie Krall is live outside the St. Louis Circuit Court after hearing from Dorsey's family and from people holding a vigil there ahead of the scheduled execution. Annie.
Brian Dorsey is convicted of killing his cousin and her husband in 2006. Just a few hours ago, the U.S. Supreme Court denied Dorsey's petition to stop the execution, which means heading into tonight, he is likely out of options for the crimes committed in New Bloomfield. That's just north of Jefferson City. It's a crime and punishment that has divided his family for almost 2 decades. Dorsey shot and killed Ben Bonney and his wife, Sarah, Dorsey's cousin. Prosecutors say Dorsey wanted to borrow money from them to pay 2 drug dealers. Then prosecutors say he sexually assaulted Sarah's body as their 4-year-old daughter slept in another room. Dorsey's attorney claims he was going through a drug-induced psychosis during all of this. His clemency petition for good behavior is supported by about 70 Missouri correctional officers who lived and worked with Dorsey as the prison's barber. Jen Grurhauser, cousins with both Dorsey and Sarah Bonney, testified that as the trial on Dorsey's behalf, she was speaking for Brian, but she also spoke at Sarah's funeral, Jenny describing her cousin as someone who didn't have an easy life.
Nobody could pull themselves up and dust themselves off like that girl could. I mean, she was tenacious. She was feisty. I mean, she was a great mother. I just adored her. I adored her. That girl could have done anything and been anybody she wanted to if she put her mind to it.
Again, we are about less than an hour away from Dorsey's scheduled execution. It's a split decision within that family. At 6 o'clock, we'll hear more about the opinions on that lethal injection heading into, again, tonight. But for now, though, reporting live in St. Louis, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
We're also following some breaking news. We've just learned there's an Amber Alert in Missouri. This is out of Springfield, Missouri.
And phones in our area just went off. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is looking for a silver Mercedes SUV with Vermont license plates. We are working on getting more details about the child involved.
Now to some developing news out of North St. Louis, where a teen was hurt in a shooting. This happened around 3 this afternoon on Kennerly Avenue. Police say the teen is around 16 years old. He was shot on the chest and alive and breathing when he went to the hospital. Police say the suspect was inside a black car, but so far, no more word on that or any arrests.
Tonight, an argument at a North County Quick Trip ends in gunfire. It happened on Lindbergh Boulevard off of Interstate 270 in Hazelwood.
5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live at the Hazelwood Police Department with new information. Diamond.
Well, Mike and Kelly, the shooting that happened today at the Lindbergh Quick Trip involved Amazon employees and gas station customers. Now, I spoke to the coworkers of those Amazon employees who say that customer called her son, who then moments later showed up with a gun. Hazelwood Police Department say they responded to this Quick Trip just before noon today. Several Amazon drivers were outside of this gas station where police questioned them. They told me 2 drivers were talking and one of them made a comment to a woman who walked by. When the woman became upset, they say she called her son to the gas station and he fired a gun into the air. Amazon employees say they ran into the gas station to take cover. Late last year, there was another shooting at this same Quick Trip where police say 70 shots were fired and an 18-year-old died. Neighbors say there's a pattern of violence at the gas station, and former law enforcement officers are calling for community input meetings to address the violence.
A lot of sirens, a whole bunch of sirens. So I thought, oh, something's happened so I got up to look and I'm like, oh, something happened at Quick Trip.
My wife came in and she said, I just heard molded gunfire, a bunch of rounds go off, and then we started hearing sirens coming in. To be honest, it's something you kind of get used to.
Now, moments ago, Hazelwood Police Department said they do have a suspect in custody and charges could come as early as tomorrow. Meanwhile, we have reached out to both Quick Trip and Amazon, and we have not heard back from them yet. Reporting live here in Hazelwood, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Let's get to our weather first forecast with meteorologist Jim Castillo. It's, so-so day, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. But, we were, again, yesterday so lucky with all the sunshine and just high clouds. And now the clouds have really been back today. Occasionally some sunshine, and even south of St. Louis, well south and east, couple showers and a few thunder showers out there. But 72 right now, and that humidity not too bad at 34%. It's a really nice evening, just a lot of clouds. Low pressure in Texas, a lot of severe weather out ahead of this, and that severe weather is expected to stay to our south tonight. But we will get some of that Gulf moisture opening up. And a spot shower, you can see them in our southern counties right now, all bubbling up our way into the metro for the overnight hours. So the weather headlines, spotty rain tonight, widespread tomorrow. We'll go into that main weather, and then rain and wind on Thursday. But everybody's still talking about the eclipse. Here's Drew Walters, an Eagle Scout that was checking it out yesterday from Eureka, Missouri, guys.
And yes, Jim, we're going to talk more about the eclipse. Millions of people all over the country saw a partial or total solar eclipse yesterday. And this is what the eclipse looked like in Cape Girardeau. After it was all over, many people in our area spent several hours stuck in traffic.
Our Justina Cornell joins us in studio learning more about that trek home. Justina.
So I spoke to several people, and some were on the road for hours. One Channel 5 viewer said it took 4 hours to get home from Cape Girardeau, and someone else said it took them 5 hours to get back from Jackson, Missouri. MoDOT said after the eclipse, northbound I-55 had stop-and-go traffic from Cape Girardeau to Route Z in Peevely, which is more than 80 miles of heavy congestion. They added things didn't completely ease up until after 10:30. And it's not just the way back home that caused delays. I spoke to travelers who never even made it to their intended destination. Before the eclipse happened, there was a backup headed south on Interstate 55. As the countdown began for the eclipse, drivers started to get off the highway and park wherever they could safely. Jim Hastings from South St. Louis City said it took him 3 hours just to get to Festus. His goal was to go to Farmington. Instead, he parked at a McDonald's right off the highway to catch the momentous moment.
It was 1:40, so we had about 10 minutes left to get settled somewhere. People out in parking lots with blankets and laying out there with their glasses on. And yes, the birds stopped chirping, the temperature went down. It was pretty cool.
Now, some of the businesses in Festus right off the highway on Interstate 55 saw a rush of customers. I spoke to one employee at a Waffle House there, and they told me it was like Christmas Day with triple the amount of customers. She told me she worked an 18-hour shift, and it was nonstop the entire day.
Justina, thanks. The parents of a school shooter headed to prison. Now, their sentence could impact other cases in the future.
President Biden cancels more student loan debt. The challenge it's already facing.
TikTok tax advice. How some of those tips online could land you in trouble with the IRS.